On this video, we're going to talk about easy setup for first time Spirit Stealers on Magicka Warden, so stay tuned for the rest of the video. Hey guys, it's Tydas. I make ESO theory content and put it to practice, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell for the latest video. Okay, let's get started. So race. I'm a Breton on this one. You can use Dark Elf or any other mag DPS race, but Breton is because I PvP as a healer sometimes on my Warden. And also it's pretty good for sustain as well, if you're struggling with sustain. Thunderstone, the lover, really important for solo content. Food or drink, Witch Mothers, you could use the gold food or you could use a try. The gold food triglyph, you can try the Bewitched Sugar Skull. It depends on the setup, but with this setup you don't really need to focus on interrupt too much. Gear, simple. We're doing a front bar Medusa, so if you don't know what this does, so you get similar to the critical as you get from Mother Sorrow, but you get the minor force at all times. We're only going to front bar this, so that's where most of our damage is going to be. I got precise and force damage, and you see why we're having force damage. Back bar, ESO Vateshran. On there, so infused weapon damage. So if you don't know what it does, this spell penetration, you don't really need that, so you just need the normal mode. That will do. But when you cast an any drain, you put damage over time on them, and it gets stronger the longer it stays on them. Similar to Zan's, but also provides the Magicka Steel. Hell Medusa, one piece Medusa, and here heavy. The rest is false god. You don't have to have perfected. It's literally normal would do. And if you can't get false god, just use spell parasite, which is the craftable set. It won't give you the same amount of magicka, but it will give you good sustain. The other piece, shoulders medium, Zan. So I went for one piece Zan instead of Dummy House because I prefer the crit. Because you need a lot of crit with this particular setup to increase your damage. Or divines, and then one piece health. So that way you could use the purple food a bit easier. Jewelry, all bloodthirsty, spell damage, and then you got Ring of the Pale Order. Skill wise, front bar, Blue Betty. This is it does three things, sorry. So it gives you, removes negative effects, which is really useful. You get major brutality and you get magicka restoration. Deep Fissure, this is your breach and also your burst damage, so it's really important to keep this up most of the time. Cliff Racer, this is your main spammable, so more than 7 meters you set them off balance. Usually just go to around this range, mid-range, and then you get more damage there. On the first and last boss, I switched Cliff Racer with Crushing Shock, so you can get all the interrupts in the green wing. So you get the interrupts. You don't have to use then the stamina to interrupt. And then on the last boss is really good against the mages if you're struggling with interrupting the mages. Next is Fletcher Infection. So what it does, so it gives you a big dot and also provides minor vulnerability, so you can increase damage by 5%. Then Bird of Prey 1 this is for your traveling really fast for that major expedition, and also gives you minor preserve by just slotting it. Eternal Guardian, this is mainly for the passive, so you don't actually use this. So you could either use Eternal Guardian or Ice Comet, but the thing that you need it for is two things really. One, you get the Flourish, so increase your Magicka and Stamina recovery by 12% if you have an animal companion ability slotted, and two, increases your advanced species. So as you can see, I've front loaded animal companion abilities on this, so I get 12% extra damage. So by just doing this, so this will compensate for the frost damage that you lose with blockade. Back bar, you got Mystic Orb. It's pretty much the strongest AoE dot in the game, so you use it. Winter's Revenge. This is to control your the ads, and also it's got higher chance to affect Chilled. And what that does with the Chilled is it provides a minor brittle, which then increases your crit damage by 10%. So really useful for that. Unstable. So why we got the Frost Staff? It's because it provides you a damage shield, and Frost Staff generally gives you a better. It's usually better on Wardens because of the passive that it has here, which is under Winter's Embrace, and is at the bottom. Piercing Cold, increase your damage with your Magicka and Frost damage, so that'll offset the damage loss that you get when you equip the Frost Staff. But it also means that you can control the ads better, so you could immobilize them, which means then you can kite more, and then it also means that your Thief Fisher can hit them more. Next skill, Living Trellis. So this is your emergency heal. So with the setup as it is, you will get a lot of healing with Pale Order, but at the same time, by just activating this in part of your rotation, any damage that you take will also heal you, and then at the end of it you get a burst heal, and the burst heal also crits, which is really useful for that. At any point that you do need that instant heal, then you just recast it again. So if you're low in health or you miss the mechanic, just quickly recast it, then you can cast it multiple times. It's pretty cheap, then you get topped up quite quickly. Then Ellie Drain, so Ellie Drain is mainly for the Vateshran. Then you got Elemental Rage for that AoE. Then this causes everything to have minor brittle as well. So I've set it up this way because of how the Warden works with all the passives. You get the extra damage, so all the setup is mainly to offset the damage loss that you get from Unstable Walls. You can see Unstable does less damage but grants shields and immobilization. And the good thing about that as well is that when you do cast it, you get the shield. So any projectiles hit you, you absorb damage, but at the same time, you also get Magicka back, which is really, really useful. So it helps with your sustain completely. So you'll find that the Magicka is quite a lot on here. So sometimes you can even run Tri-Food if you're kind of struggling with that, or even Purple Food. Max Magicka and Max Health. Champion points, just keep it pretty balanced. 81 Ironclad, 15 Light Armor, 51 Thick Skin, 56 to Defender, 56 Hardy, 11 Quick Recovery, 37 Warlord, 11 Sprinter, 2 Bash, just because I was using this PvP. Tenacity, you're not going to really heavy attack a lot. Alchemist, 56 Shadow Ward, and then put a lot more on Tumbling for the wall dodging. The Blue Tree, 72 Elfborn, so you want to make sure that your crit damage is enhanced. That's why the whole setup as it is a bit higher than usual. 56 Elemental Export, so this will boost all your frost damage as well. 12 erosion, 13 staff expert, 66 master arms, 51 thaumaturge. So in terms of rotation, so make sure that you're buffed up. So you want to activate your shock first, and then into Flector Infection bar swap. So it's all buffed up there, and then what you do then is then you blockade, orb, and then any drain, and then Winter's Revenge. Then so you can implement your heal there. So if you're taking a lot of damage, so you could do start again, infection, orb, and then heal, any drain, and then Winter's Respite. So we cast Winter's Respite fast because of the animation, so you could pass up, cancel it, and then as you do use the shock, Cliff Racer, shock, and then start again. See. And then you shock, then you could then start again. Then just cast Betty in between to bar swap it. So this setup pretty much controls all the ads because they all get chilled and they immobilize, and they take the minor brittles to get extra damage. Then when you front load the Animal's Companion passive, then you do hit a lot harder. And you can use other setups on this, but this one will provide the most balance when it comes to the setup. Okay, so hope you guys liked the video. Then subscribe and like the video for the next content.